It's a happy Monday evening. How you doing, buddy?
It makes it Mondays.
Making shit on Mondays.
Making
That's
shit
right.
on Mondays, number 21.
21, right? Holy shit.
I know you said 20 last week, and I'm like, what the fuck? We did 20 already. Jeez.
I know, time blurs by. You know, and hopefully by episode 24, we'll have everything locked in and actually do it right. Or maybe not. Maybe this is our shenanigans.
No. We got this is part of you put the shit and make shit Mondays for.
Hey, it's Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? Hello. Woo. Yeah. So, I mean, speaking of 24, I think we'll let people know now. We got 3 more episodes after today's, and then we're going to be taking a break for the holidays, kind of give ourselves some time to breathe, stretch, relax, and just get back on top of things, right? And we'll be back in, I think we were talking about the spring. I'm not sure we have an exact date yet, but
yeah, it'll probably depend on our Kickstarters and where.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to coincide so we can kind of promote a lot of the creators that we have, especially in Raid 4, which has a bunch of awesome creators in it. But I can't believe it. Like 3 more, we hit 24. That's a pretty solid number for one season.
Fuck, we started this back in July, June.
No, later. May? I think it was later.
May?
I think it was like the fall, wasn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
No, we started this before we started the weekly Arden, which was in August. So it definitely was in June or July.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? It must have been during. You were saying May or June because we had Dax on as a guest, our first guest, and I think his campaign was still live. I think I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think
or it might have been the closing. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, time's a blur though. Wow,
yeah.
that went fast, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But anyway, it's been great and super fun. So June 14th.
Boom! There you go.
I was right.
So it must have been like the last week of Dax's campaign.
Probably. Yeah.
You know. So how's your week been though? It's funny because usually we talk a little bit here and there between episodes, but I have not heard a peep from Eric Vedder all week.
I know. Just busy. Work's busy because we got a big update going out the new war. Any of you Warframe fans,
nice.
will know about that. That's we're just trying to get that going.
Yeah.
And everyone's grinding away on it. Concept department. We're fortunate that we always are ahead of the things, so we're just there kind of a support right now. So,
yeah.
But it's good. And then just like wrapping up the campaign with Sheldon, like his To Steal the Sun Kickstarter.
Yeah, no, he wrapped up at 720% funded. That's like bravo to Sheldon there, man. Slow clap out of time
for the SM Carters. So.
Oh man, oh yeah, birthday week. Oh, we'll be around for your birthday week. Come on, we'll have some kind of other acronym. We'll do it on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? You busy?
Yeah, I got a little bit sick earlier in the week due to some like allergies or dust mites or something. Give me a like bronchial infection, so it's kind of like a little bit coffee. So if I'm a little coffee this episode, I apologize. Kind of knocked me out for a bit, and then just deadlines. It's been finishing. It's like a domino effect. You got the Kickstarter finishing. I got my regular monthly book deadlines. You know, all this stuff, and but it's all kind of coming to an end in time for the holidays. So maybe like a little bit of a breather.
Yeah,
sometime.
I'm looking forward to it. It's funny because I can't wait for I love Christmas first of all. So
yeah.
And work, everything slows down as it gets towards it. They give us a week off too, so I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I think I'm looking forward to that too. Just taking a bit of a break between Christmas and New Year if I can, and then planning 2022 and also for if anybody might be watching from the Chicago area, actually, myself and Andrew Dorland from Raid will be at the C2E2 show. In December 9th to 12th.
And Chicago doesn't really get that cold, so that's pretty good.
What? It gets freezing. Oh, man. Anyways, let's get on to tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
We have a peculiar, wonderful, interesting, funny fellow on with us tonight. and
Superb artist. I really have taken a shine to his style and his comedic humor. He's such a goof. I love him.
Yeah, he's a big goof, and I always compare it to like old Mad magazine work that I enjoyed as a kid. I'm blanking on the artists right now but they were the mainstays of the Mad magazine. He totally reminds me of that, and I make fun of his dad humor all the time, but he's on point with a lot of it.
It's great. His Raid 4 stuff is fantastic, and
oh yeah.
Can't wait to see what everyone thinks about it.
Let's bring him on, Mr.
Come on,
Danesh
Yo.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
What's going on? Oh, thank you for such a shining introduction.
You're a shining fellow.
I know, it's shining brighter than the light in my office.
Yeah. I think you've actually, I could be wrong, but weren't you like a sneak guest on one of the big party episodes we had? Like a Raid 4 one or something. I feel like you might have been on one briefly, like in the...
Maybe
it's all a blur right now. You don't even know.
No. If it was, I was in Spain and it was 4 a.m, so I don't remember anything.
Oh, yeah, that's right, during Spain time.
Oh,
are you in
Mama,
Spain right now?
Yeah.
You're in Spain right now?
No, I'm back.
No, he's in the globe.
Yeah.
Back in the beachless, sunnyless city of Toronto.
Was that Calman in the background?
I like how you recognize Calman's sneeze.
Yeah. That didn't sound like he covered it up either. This is COVID time.
Yeah.
Come on, Calman.
No, he's dusting off a year's worth of dust from his artist station here. So
Good to
it's
see he's back, but
yeah.
So Danesh, can you tell us how to pronounce your name properly?
It's
Danesh.
Danesh like Spanish?
Yeah, Danish like Spanish. Yeah.
That's kind of. I think you wrote that as one of your names once on some kind of app, and I was like, okay, that clicks in my head.
It's tough because my name isn't spelled right.
Like your parents misspelled your name?
No, it isn't spelled the way it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the best that they could do. So it's Danesh, but
if it was an ISH, it would be like a Danish, and you're not a Danish.
Yeah, so there's no hope. There's no way to spell it properly.
I've been going through the same thing all my life. My name's mispronounced by everybody I know, and you just kind of eventually you're just like,
I just call him ramen.
Yeah, there you
go. Spicy ramen.
Spicy ramen.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But I feel your pain.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Like it's the problem is like I'll tell people once, and normally they'll forget, and then I'll never tell them again. Because it's just like I feel like I don't want it to be like the main topic. No.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, if they remember, they remember. If it's Danesh, I'm fine with that. Like I've known people for like over 20 years, and they still call me that, and it's too late.
Yeah, well, I have friends who call me Ray, and like I'm just like whatever.
You can call me whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can call me Earache. People like
Earache.
In Spanish would be Eric Vedder.
What's that?
Vedder.
Eric Vedder, I guess.
Yeah, you make him sound so exotic all of a sudden.
Yeah. Where is he? There.
Over there. Womp womp. I don't know who's gonna take the comedy award tonight. You or Danesh?
Oh no, not me for sure.
My artwork will probably take the comedy award.
Oh, maybe.
Boom. What are you working on today? What is this? Ooh.
Oh, I gotta get working on Kali.
Sheldon's cards. Nice.
Yeah. When don't I work for Sheldon?
Oh my God! Right.
At work. Extra work. He sent me more stuff to do. He's like, "Hey, buddy, no pressure, but can you do a whole bunch of other art inside the book?"
Oh, you're doing more. Are you going to be the chosen artist for the book?
No, I don't know. He gave me some ideas, and then I was vague about it. And he's like, "Hey, are you doing it or not?" I'm keeping him on. I want to keep him in suspense. So then,
yeah, because we're going to press with that book in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I gotta have it done by then.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me that part.
Yeah, I think it's the spot illustrations for the book, which I think are quite simple.
Yeah.
And then the page ones are a little bit more complex. So
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing the page ones. So I think they're just the small little spot illustrations for the chapter headers or whatever.
yeah.
What is that you're working on, Eric?
Oh, this is like a card art for the To Steal the Sun. I'm doing 3 of them. Last week I worked on.
Oh, card. Like they have like what card?
This was last week I was working on. So,
oh, nice. That's beautiful,
this is
man.
Amara, and then I'm gonna start working on Callie. I did some sketches of her earlier, didn't like it, so I gotta work on her pose. And there's one more Rake who I did a sketch of. It's in the campaign. It's just
that's awesome. Can you zoom into that the veil on the face?
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it's really sketchy and rough, but
that's great, man. That's like a nice, like really, you've done it really well with like very few strokes. That veil.
Thanks,
that's
buddy.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, the hair is amazing too.
Oh, that's actually an older sketch because that this whole armlet's different. Anyway, let's see what you're working on. Enough of my nonsense. Enough of this Sheldon. He's starting to steal our time for the last.
To steal our time.
He's stealing our sun.
Yeah. Why don't we show what you're working on? Forget about my nonsense here.
Oh shit.
So mine.
This is crazy.
Let me zoom out a bit. So this is a timeline of the last 200 years of fictional characters.
My God.
Focusing like really on like science fiction, fantasy, and like cartoons, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So not too many like normal, characters. Like, so I've started with, people always ask me why I start with Frankenstein, but a lot of people consider Frankenstein the first official science fiction character.
Yeah. I think I actually saw something about that recently.
Yeah,
they were saying the same thing. I like how you're correlating it with world events though, to give people an idea what was going on while these characters were being created or shared or ingested by the public.
Yeah,
I wonder if those events shaped some of these characters as well. I would assume.
Oh, so. I think so for sure.
Yeah, that's
sure.
Great.
Now, have you always done this digitally?
No. So the original. Let me show you.
Because you've done this is like your third.
Third version. Yeah.
Third version of this. You do it as a poster.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
you madman, jeez.
So this was the original version.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
now, are you redrawing every character, or are you working from an old scan?
I thought it was like
redrawing everything.
You're redrawing everything.
Yeah. So originally I did it traditionally. It was like a big paper pasted on the wall.
Yeah.
And I did the whole thing while listening to the Godfather audiobook. So I finished the whole audiobook. So that was like 8 hours.
I can't wait to buy. I want a copy of this on our studio wall. It's a big copy.
Sorry, there are some things I erased and moved around, but yeah. So yeah, it's fun, like, especially when it's like really big. Then it's really like.
But when do you choose when to end?
I kind of, you know what, I thought about that, and it's tough because now this will be the third version, and I've literally run out of space, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you've gone from 1818 to 1918, so this is almost 200 years then. Over 200 because you have 2020.
2020, yeah. So it's over 200 years and it's over 200 characters. So
beautiful.
I kind of like now. It kind of starts with the pandemic in 1919.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of ends with this pandemic 100 years later.
From pandemic to pandemic.
Yeah.
The heroes that brought us together.
Well, it's like a good motivator before the next pandemic starts.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, what can I get done in 200 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this is the original, but there's so many things I wanted to add, and I just wanted to just draw it again, I guess. I don't know.
And so, how far along are you then?
Okay, so I am right now. I am now on She-Hulk, which is 1980.
That's awesome.
Jeez. Here I am worrying about a bust, a character drawing. You've got
Yeah.
200 characters.
I also like the juxtaposition of characters. You'll never see any of these characters with anybody, like with anybody other, with any other kind of you know, together again kind of thing, right?
Mm.
And it's I just love, like, I'm a big fan of like infographics as well,
Right.
and I
Yeah,
just feel like
yeah.
it's just a big infographic, really, of
Dude, that's superb, man. You gotta make a giant poster of that at a convention or something to sell, because I think people would eat that up.
yeah, no, it does really well, and the
just
good
like-
thing is that I know that I'm going to keep adding to it. So when I sold the original to people, I told them I'll keep their email, and when the next one comes out, I'll give them a good discount on that.
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
So
Jay Crawford. Wow.
thanks.
No, that's wicked.
But you guys,
It'll be cool though. Like you could stop it there and then do the next 200 years.
yeah,
As
Yeah,
an
yeah.
old man, it'll be the opposite poster that you have in, you know, on your deathbed. You'll do the final stroke.
when I reach the right age of 240.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Maybe your children will continue it on.
Hey, I think I've been listening to this this audiobook, Homo Deus. I think it's called Homo Deus.
Yeah.
It's the same guy who wrote Sapiens or Sapiens.
Okay, I know that
Oh,
book.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
But he's
Sapiens.
talking about how all these advances we have in science and like medicine, and that it's very possible that people are going to might be able to live till 150 soon, and then 200. Like that's the next kind of ambitious research project for scientists right now.
I mean,
That's bananas. I think you got to do one of these for all the raid characters in your anthologies.
I can put the right characters in here.
oh, there you go. We're part
Hey,
of
don't
history
ruin it.
now.
Now, don't
So,
ruin it.
okay, wait. So let me go back to the original. So wait. When is Arden, for example? When did you start that? When is the first
Well,
published?
that's a long story.
7. No.
Is it before Frankenstein?
Yeah, Arden probably started in like 96.
96.
95,
Okay.
96, somewhere around there. Yeah, right around the
Around the Teletubbies era, you know,
Yeah. With Pikachu.
Tomb Raider
Pikachu.
basically inspired me.
around the internet time. I love that.
Yeah, like kind of when anime was hitting over here really big is when I started to really start. I know Sailor Moon came in '92 there, but
Yeah.
for me, it just started to blow up with Akira and Ghost in a Shell. I know that stuff's older, but yeah, that was kind of the time that Arden started.
Okay. You can definitely put that in there. And
Oh, you don't? No, don't ruin this with these weird ideas of mine, man. You got to do a separate one for Raid because that don't take away from all this. This is really cool.
No, it's like I just like I was doing it, and I was living in Valencia, and a friend visited me, and he's like, "Oh, aren't you gonna put this famous Chilean character Contador in there?" I'm like, "Who is Contador?" He's like, "Yeah, put Contador in there." I'm like, "Sure, I'll put it."
Did you put Contador in there?
Yeah, he's there somewhere. He's like the most famous cartoon character in Chile.
Oh, that's funny. Well, do you have Mortadelo and Filemon?
Yeah, I do because I was in Spain. So
There they are, right there. They were my
Yeah.
favorite as a kid. That's
Hey,
awesome.
So Dinesh, like you talk about all these places. Where have you all lived and worked, my friend?
So I to make a short story long,
Sounds like Arden.
that's a good start to like
Eric understands that.
I understand.
making a short story long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in India, and then my mom moved me to Dubai. My dad got a job as an engineer in Dubai, and she actually moved me there in a basket, like I was carried in
Like
a
the
basket.
baby Jesus.
Yeah, no, people thought it was a chick. Like my mom was carrying chickens.
Were you making chicken noises?
Yeah. I was like, instead of crying, I would go. "Bark, bark, bark." Yeah,
Amazing.
some things haven't changed.
That-
Still, when I get upset, I cluck like a chicken.
Uh-huh.
And then, so I grew up in Dubai,
Wow.
and then I pretty much spent my summers in India for the first 17 years of my life. And then I moved to Toronto, and I went to U of T.
Is that why you came to Toronto?
Yeah.
For school.
I came here to become a doctor.
What?
Get out of town, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But like after my first calculus test, I think I got like 3% on it or something. Like, I think I got everything wrong, but just to make me not feel bad, they probably gave me the 3%.
They're like, he got his name right. Let's give him a few percent
well,
for that.
Well,
Even my name, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then, I was just like, I don't think this is for me. So I slowly went into like psychology and social psychology. So I got my degree in like psychology and biology and English literature actually.
Okay.
And then I went to Sheridan in Oakville.
Yeah.
Oakville, the most interesting town in the whole of Canada.
Oh God, no.
Not at all.
Oh God, no.
When were you there?
I was there from 2002. Oh no. Yes, September 2002.
I missed you by a couple of years.
I missed you by many more.
Oh, you
But I
guys
have
must be old.
Oh, super old. But I have a vague. I have a clear recollection of you visiting Rob and I at a fan expo while we were promoting butternut squash back in the early 2000s. I could be completely wrong on that.
Yeah.
But because you're such a unique personality, I was like, I know this guy when you came back and connected with us at Raid. But years before, I always remember you coming by and chatting and talking art.
Yeah, that was fun. Then you guys when I first came, you guys were in the older spot.
Yes,
On Queen Street, I guess.
No, on College Street. Yes.
On College Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there, you know what? There was another fan expo when you actually knew me, but I was wearing a Spider-Man outfit, and I spent like 20 minutes at the table just making weird comments. Just like.
Of course you did.
And, like,
and now you're just telling us.
Yeah. And nobody knew it was me. And then I went back to my desk and I took off my costume, and I really felt like and I've done that in a few Comic-Cons. I did that in Dubai.
That's hilarious.
Where I would just like totally like go under my desk, wear my Spider-Man outfit, just start crawling around the ground.
I like how like Superman changes in a phone booth, you crawl under a desk.
Yeah.
Like a spider
Like
would.
a spider.
Like a spider.
Where else would a spider change?
So after Sheridan, where did you end up?
So after Sheridan, so in Sheridan I did art fundamentals, and then I did illustration, and then for some reason I got into technical illustration, and then I got all teched out and I left.
You got teched out. That's funny that you went into, because I took the illustration program as well, and I remember tech illustration being an option in second year.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I loved doing technical illustration in first year, but I knew I kind of knew it wasn't really the path for me to go. I was more geared toward interpretive illustration, like children's books, editorial, that sort of thing. So what made you choose the technical over the interpretive? Like, what was it about? So
originally I did art fundamentals, and I was able to get something called advanced placement, and I had to choose. In case I got advanced placement, I had to choose between animation and illustration.
I got
the whole year I was like, I'm going to do animation because animation was just, I really felt like you could really improve your drawing skills.
Yeah, very much
animation.
So. Yeah,
totally.
And then on the last day, then I selected it, and all my friends selected animation, right? And then on the last day, I went for a little walk in Sheridan, and it was a illustration show from the class from the year before. They always have an illustration show at the end of the year.
Yeah, the year end kind of. Yeah, that's right.
And then I looked at the stuff and I was like, whoa! And I was totally blown away by like the paintings and illustrations, and it was just like something different, because animation was great, but you always only saw like the blue line drawings and the like beautiful drafts. But then I saw this illustration show everything in color and like all these paintings and these amazing things, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this is what's going to happen in illustration. And then I changed it in the last second, like I think like 10 minutes before they closed the box.
And that
then
was
when I was in animation, I always kept saying I should have went to illustration. So
Yeah.
here's
okay.
here's.
But and is that why you chose technical? Because you really didn't know, you were just kind of like diving in blind for the second year, or?
I enjoyed the first year of illustration. Like I learned a lot. We did life drawing, we did object drawing, we did conceptual things.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the general program, and I was like, oh, this is really, I liked it. And then I was exactly there at the time where Sheridan was going from a college into a university.
Yeah.
So then a lot of stuff was happening. Like they were making stuff more theoretical and more kind of like
Oh yeah.
a lot of like artsy fartsy talk.
Yeah,
Which
probably the reasons why none of us chose university.
Yeah. I was like, I already been to university, and then I felt like then I was watching how the interpretive program was shaping up. Maybe it's fine now, I don't know, but the way it was going, I didn't like the direction.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go somewhere where I would learn the most. Like, you know, so I felt like when I looked at technical, I felt at least like there's a lot of interesting stuff being learned here. So
Yeah.
and I'm glad I did it in a sense, because we did a lot of isometric drawings and object drawings, and like I still do a lot of isometric drawings for thing, and I'm like
Yeah. I had to learn a lot of that in the first year. Did you have Larry Reed?
Yeah, he was so good.
Jack Taylor was the other guy I had there for a while.
Yeah.
Larry was fantastic. I learned so much in his course, which was all like structural and isometric based. Like, here, draw your blowout illustration of a tech pen, every piece in perfect isometric perspective, you know. And I love that shit. Like, I just excelled at that stuff.
And drawing it with a technical pen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Take it apart to draw it.
Yeah. And Larry was so good. Like, I remember I stayed back in class once, and I was just asking him some questions, and I was trying to understand like when to use like thick lines and thin lines in technical illustration, right?
Yeah.
And he told me such a good thing that blew my mind, even though it might seem simple now. But he's like, anything that you can put your hand around is a thick line, and anything you can't is a thin line.
I actually use that same ideology because I got that from him as well in all my comic work.
Yeah.
Exactly that. You know.
So that's good. Great. It's such a good concept. Like it was just, and at the time, I better start doing something.
Rob's like, let's put the camera on him.
Uh-oh.
That's cool. And then from there, where'd you go?
From there, looks like I don't know how to talk and draw at the same time. We might have a problem on this show.
Did you finish the program?
Wait. So
draw.
Caught him off guard.
Yeah. I thought I could draw and talk at the same time. I think once I start drawing, then I can get back. Okay, we were talking about Sheridan and Larry.
Yeah.
And the thin lines and the thick lines.
Exactly.
Okay, and then I left
catching up.
Because it was just after a while it was like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah.
And then I stayed downtown Toronto, and I worked at an ad agency. Like really weird paperwork stuff, nothing creative. Once in a while I did something creative. And then I remember one day I was sitting down and I got a mail, and I opened it, and it was my OSAP bill. And I saw it, and I was like, and I freaked out. I was like, oh damn, like maybe I hadn't been looking at it. And I was like, I gotta do something about this. I'm not gonna be able to. So I decided to go back home to Dubai.
Okay, to escape the government.
Run
Yeah.
from the Ontario.
To pay it off, to like stay, just stay at my mom's place, and then
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did the same thing, just not Dubai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not a palace in the desert. No,
No, I didn't have my palace. I had my shack in Oshawa.
well, you can understand what I mean then.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back, and then I got a job as a cartoonist and a designer at a pretty big newspaper over there, like their biggest newspaper called Gulf News. And then that was the first time I started doing illustration like professionally. I did like editorial illustrations. I had like two regular cartoons, and I did like designing pages, and I did. I remember when the newspaper asked me like, "Do you know how to use Quark Express?"
Yeah.
That was like the old school,
Yeah,
and I
no
said
worries.
yes. They said okay, and I had no idea. I'd never used it in my life. And I had they're like, okay, we're gonna have a test in 3 days. I'm like, oh no! And then I learned it in 3 days. I was just like, I don't know how I learned it. And
I love that. I love that though. That's the beauty of freelance. You're just like, yeah, I got that, no problem. They just like, then you just duck somewhere and just like deep dive on it for,
Yeah, motivation can do a lot.
Exactly.
And then I got that job, and that was fun because that got me confident to get my work published and see it by like thousands of people, and and my work, even though if I thought my work was terrible, I still had to keep doing it because that was my job.
Yeah, you're learning on the fly, basically.
Yeah, and then eventually I got better, and then I used to also do chord sketches, and my chord sketching was very interesting
I bet.
because in Dubai you can't draw in the chords.
Oh,
You're not allowed to
weird.
draw, or you're not allowed to take photos
Yeah,
or draw.
that's
So
weird.
I had to. You were allowed to write though. You can write notes.
Interesting.
So I would write. So I would see the person. I would see the scene. I would write down the description in detail.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would write like, okay, this guy's got a forehead which is a bit round. His nose goes down like this. The light is shining from above. Like the ratio of his forehead to his chin is this, and his ear is this far back. His hair is a bit curly, and then he's wearing this shirt, and the size of this is about that much. I would write down everything, as if I was drawing it. And then I would run back. I would go back in a taxi, and I would run back to the office and quickly try and draw as much as I remembered.
I'm just picturing these like police though that are walking around and checking the aisles to
Yeah.
make sure because writing and like sketching in a small sketchbook and writing could look very similar. So like how did they catch you? Not. They look right. Like I Yeah, that's what I was
remember,
gonna say.
I would always get in trouble in Dubai for drawing. I've gotten in trouble a few times in Dubai because it's a bit strange and because I came from when I was coming back to Toronto right before I went to Dubai, I was going life drawing on the subway every day with a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
friends.
was that the Bobby Chu
Yeah,
schoolism thing? Yeah.
So I would go on that. I was doing that for like a year, maybe 2 years, and then it became normalized for me to sit in public and draw strangers. Like I didn't see any problem with it as long as they didn't mind or they didn't notice.
Yeah.
Better that they didn't notice. Because if they noticed, they might mind. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Then I was like, this was a normal thing I was doing. Then I went to Dubai and I was like, oh, and I started doing the same thing. And I got in trouble in the mall. I got in trouble in the bus. I got in trouble on the streets.
Just for drawing people, like people would catch you
For
and then like
drawing, man. Like people would like.
they're like, "Well, how dare you draw me?"
Yeah. No, one guy saw me. Like I was drawing a lady on the bus. Like she was just sitting with just a profile.
Yeah.
And a guy saw me. And he got really upset that I was drawing her. And he came up to me and he grabbed my sketchbook. No, he tore the page out of my sketchbook and took it back with him to the back of the bus.
So he kept your drawing of her.
Yeah, and I was like, yo. And then I was like, this can't happen. You can't just like tear paper out of my book and go to the back of the bus. But
Maybe.
this is in Toronto. Like you can't.
Oh my god.
Like but she didn't mind. She knew I was drawing her, so she didn't mind. So I
Maybe-
went back and I had to explain to him that she didn't mind that I was drawing her and blah blah
Oh,
blah,
God.
and I got it back.
What a
Jesus, it's so weird.
And then in the mall, I would draw in the food court all the time. Oh, and I discovered the trick to doing it without getting caught.
What's that?
So this is like the
Sunglasses?
biggest. This is the biggest hack for like drawing in public and not
Sunglasses? Is that it?
getting noticed. And like anyone can do it.
Okay.
So what you do is like you sit wherever in public, take your sketchbook, then you get on your phone, pretend like you're on your phone, and just go like this, and then start drawing. But you gotta talk. You gotta talk to yourself.
Talking to you.
So you're like you're a professional crazy person, basically. Is what
No,
what you're
that's
saying.
what-
Sounds like, yeah.
Like, yo, Ramon, yeah, what's going on, man? Yeah. What'd you do yesterday? Oh, yeah.
One day I just
Oh,
want to
that-
follow you around and actually listen to your fake conversation.
No, because when people are on the phone, nobody looks. When you're on the phone and you're
Yeah.
talking, nobody looks at you.
But now you can even fake it even better. You just have earbuds, right? You don't even
Yeah.
have to hold your phone. You just be like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, but people feel inhibited to look at you when you're talking on the phone. They will
Yeah.
listen to you. They'll listen to you with ease and listen to everything you're saying, but they will not look at you.
That's
I noticed
funny.
that, and I was like, if I do this, I'm pretty much invisible.
Yeah,
No one is gonna look at me.
I love how I love how observant you are with and the people's mannerisms and. Does this? How much does this? I'm guessing it does, but does this inform your art a lot? Like, 'cause you do such great caricatures of people and character studies and different things. Do you find like all this stuff informs the various personalities you draw or create?
I think so. I love observing people and just characters, like, and I think somehow in my mind it stays there. But I used to life draw a lot because I really, and in the beginning, like a lot of beginners, I would be life drawing and wait for the person to be still. I'm like, no, don't move,
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
still. But then I realized that I read this book by Walt Stansfield, this Disney artist, called I think it was called Drawing from Life or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he just talks about, like, when you're life drawing, you can't wait for the person to stay still, or that you just have to trust yourself that you understand what you see and you can recreate it on the page without having to look at every single detail.
Yeah.
And I got a good practice of that. Like, and I remember I just thought to myself, like, if that person had an impression on you, then you should be able to create that impression on paper.
That makes sense.
So then I started doing that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause there's so many unique characters you'll see. I always find like whenever you're that observant, you're watching characters and people, and you'll often come across individuals on the street or whenever you're traveling that you could never make up. They're just so like out there. You're like, you know what? As creative as I am, I could never make this individual up. And if I were to draw him, people would probably go, "That's unrealistic. What are you doing?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny how just like reality sometimes is, as they say, stranger than fiction. It's just so easily inspiring.
I think that's why it's so important to have reference, because it looks so much better too if you interpret it. But
Yeah.
you have that reference. Right? I was so stubborn with reference for so long. That's cheating. No, that's just
No, I don't think so.
no. I was being dumb. That's what I was doing. So.
I was
Especially
being
your own reference.
I was being lazy. I was just like, I wanted to make it up.
No, I had ego like every artist, I'm sure. Just like, oh no, I'm gonna figure this out where I don't have to. It's like, what am I doing? I can learn from this too. Don't forget. Anyway.
Yeah.
The art journey is long, and
You never stop learning.
you never stop learning. I like
find,
when people at conventions come up and they're like, I want to draw better. What should I do? And I'm like, learn perspective, light draw, and what was the other word? Oh, perspective.
Perspective.
He's like that other thing, muscle foundation or whatever.
Anatomy. That's what it is.
Anatomy. There you go.
And then they instantly are like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's the boring stuff. Sorry. Well, you can make it exciting, but
Yeah.
But they don't want to hear that. They're like, no, what's the quick way to draw?
Yeah,
this?
they want the
way.
quick recipe, the secret that you're holding to your chest.
Oh,
You know.
yeah, it's so tough. Drawing, I still struggle with drawing.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, buddy, all the time here. But I love it as well. That's it. The difference is that I love it. I love the abuse, I guess. Mental abuse. But
You have like a sadomasochistic relationship with drawing.
A sadomasochistic relationship.
Like your sketchbook gets into leather and like whips you with your pencil.
Good old S&M.
S&M
love it.
Carter.
S&M Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
He's loving us right now for sure.
And then you actually, in recent years, since we've kind of connected over the last several, you've kind of done a deep dive on doing some comic work as well. And that's like, even though you've done like humor stuff, it was always like one-off panels. And then now you're doing more sequential art. Do you find that challenging or satisfying? Like,
Oh, it's excruciatingly hard. I hate it. I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world.
excuse me, Eric will agree with
I
you
don't
on
know
that.
how you guys do it. You know, I'm only now after doing. I think Raid was one of my first. Cucaracha was one of my first comics I did, and then Jungle Book, and I'm only now starting to like get better at it. I think, like understand, like it's not the same as illustration. It's a completely different ball game. Like it takes a
Oh,
while,
yeah.
and you can't go with it at the same mind rate as mind set as illustration.
Yeah.
Like you can't spend ages on it. Like now I'm just like I just like have to trust my strokes. I can't fiddle too much. I'm just like, okay, bam, 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 bam. The last comic
That's
I
true,
did
yeah.
was like
Yeah. I found sketching at conventions did that for me. Gave me that confidence to just kind of trust my first line, if you will. You know, it doesn't work every time, obviously, but for the most part, try to believe in the lines you're putting down. Because after doing it for so many years, you got to trust at least the first line or first few are actually pretty solid because you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, for sure. The trusting the process is something I've really come to understand. Like, something can look so bad for so long, but it'll get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, there it is. But it's like just believing in yourself that no, I'm gonna actually finish this, and you just gotta stick with this. You know, there is the moment when it's like, okay, this is just shit. I gotta start over. But,
sometimes you have a bad day, whatever it is, and you know, it is what it is. But
yeah. I keep saying every time I finish a comic, I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
And now, aren't you planning to start like a monthly comic or a weekly comic?
Oh man, yeah. So I don't know. Like, I have to start something. Like after I finish this poster, I want to start something, but I don't know if I'm gonna do regular characters or continue like single panel. I feel like single panel ideas come to me really fast.
Yeah.
I have at least one every day. Not saying they're all good, but they keep coming to me. So I don't know if that's a sign that this is what I need to do. Or I had this idea of like getting a comic strip and having set characters and then creating this thing. And that's all conceptual. Like I don't have any ideas of any stories.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be a cool thing to have regular characters.
I mean, you could attack it both ways. You could actually start with the singles, and then you might have repeat characters that might kind of keep coming back to help you tell jokes or something, right? And then they might evolve into the main characters of your ongoing gag strip, if you will, or whatever it might be. You know.
That's a very good point, actually. I like that.
You know, that way you don't have to worry about it. Let the characters tell if they're happy with you, they'll keep showing up, basically. You know.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually.
You're currently in Toronto, and you were in Spain, or are you going back to Spain?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The story of where I've lived.
Eric wants to know.
So, wait. So I stopped. Where did I stop last time?
You
I
were
was in
you were in
Dubai.
you were in Dubai working for the newspaper.
Yeah, and like finding a hack for like life drawing in public.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met this amazing, beautiful Spanish lady. Her name was Elena, and we hit it off. And she was working at the Spanish embassy. And she was, I think, only after 3 or 4 months after we met and started dating, she went back to Spain. And then we were like long distance for 1 year after that.
Oh wow.
And,
Okay.
And then eventually, you know, we had to, like, either she would come to Dubai or I would go to Spain. And I was like, I'm definitely going to Spain.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know anything about Spain, nothing, no Spanish. I had been to Mexico once, that doesn't count as anything. And so I went. I just took my stuff. I had started freelancing. I started doing these advertising illustrations for Dubai Metro and Saatchi, like this huge campaign, and it was like all the billboards, all the buses, all over
Oh
town.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was huge, and I was like, oh, this is, you know, I was like, okay, freelancing is gonna work. So I left my job, and I went into freelancing, and I moved to Spain. I moved to Madrid.
Nice.
And yeah, in Madrid, I started doing work. I started doing for clients like Scholastic and like other like Time Out and magazines like that. And I met these really cool people, more clients. And then I was in Spain for a while. We moved around. We lived in Valencia as well. I loved Valencia.
Yeah.
Valencia was amazing. I think Valencia is my favorite.
Spanish paradise.
Yeah, and we lived in a neighborhood called Carmen, which was all like everything was graffiti there, everything,
Oh wow.
every single thing, in all different styles. Like it was like you were living inside an art gallery.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that. Like it was old walls, and it was like an old walls that surrounded that little part of the neighborhood.
Yep.
And what's amazing of the history of it is that there were like holes on the wall outside. So there were bigger holes, and those were from when Napoleon was attacking Spain
Oh wow, that's
back
crazy.
in whatever time that was.
Yeah.
And then there were smaller holes, and that's when during the Spanish Civil War they were being attacked
Oh wow.
by I can't remember the names of the two sides, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just like that, there's so much history everywhere. So Spain was just and Valencia, and then we moved to Alicante, which is my wife's hometown. And then
So how many years were you in Spain then overall at that one time?
4 years maybe.
Or okay.
Yeah.
And you speak Spanish now too?
Yeah. I speak a little bit.
But when you moved there, you didn't know any, or did you know?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And you know what my motivation was for learning Spanish?
The lady you were with?
Well, she speaks English really well, so I don't like
Oh, okay.
communicate with her really fine.
Yeah.
But it was, with this moment when I'm sitting in a bar having tapas, having cervezas, beers, and then like everyone's talking. That's okay if you don't understand people. Like, you know, you listen. But then when someone cracks a joke and everybody laughs
Except you.
except
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
And there's no way out, because if you don't laugh, it's awkward. And if you do laugh, it's even more awkward because everyone knows you don't speak Spanish and you're just faking it.
Did you ever do the fake laugh you're like laughing?
Yeah,
You
I
did.
tried once, and everyone looked. Then everyone.
That's awesome.
Sí.
Oh man! So
That's awesome.
then that was my motivator. It was like either learn Spanish or just be awkward on every single joke.
So how did you? Was it the fact that did you go up to your partner at the time and go, "Don't speak to me in English" or anything? Like, how did you force your hand to kind of?
Yeah, we would try doing that sometimes, but really it was social situations and my wife's family as well.
Okay.
Like she her family only speaks Spanish, so that's the only way I could communicate with them.
Okay.
So in the end, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And then I learned, and I went to classes a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I found like the classes just don't. I mean, I took classes when I was younger for Spanish, and I find just immersing yourself in just, that going to that point where you need to survive. That's when you actually will gain that language. Like class, I find is good, but it might work for some people, but I find like for me, it was always like drop me in the middle of this town and make sure no one else speaks English or a language I speak, and then I'll slowly begin to pick up.
You need to suffer, and and learning has to be the way out of suffering. Like
exactly.
The only way.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Only way you learn.
Yeah. No, it's very, very true.
So, and then I left Spain because I actually got a job at TD.
Now, did Elena come with you at this time?
Yeah.
Were
And
you
she was pregnant.
So were you married by this point, or just living in sin?
We were married.
Okay.
We were married, and then we left. We left Spain without telling anyone she was pregnant.
Oh, what? Oh.
Yeah, because otherwise they would never let us go.
Oh man, sneaky, sneaky.
And anyways, you normally don't tell anyone till the third.
Yeah,
month.
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, these were special circumstances, but still. And then everyone was like, "What? You were married and you left?" He's like, "See, you would never have let us leave." And
that's amazing.
And that's how we ended up here. And at TD, I started working full time.
Mm-hmm.
And the job was great, and the people are great, and the work was good. But I was in an office in a cubicle working full time, and I'm like, I can't do this. After having so much freedom and traveling and doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think ultimately after a year, I convinced them for me to go part time with them and work from home. And we continue to this day with that arrangement.
That's awesome. How long have you been with? Would you say it's your oldest client now?
What do you mean, like the most work?
Well, oldest, steadiest client. Like you've worked with them for the most amount of length of time, I guess, is what I was.
No, I have. There's a studio called Studio Banana.
Okay.
In Spain, it's on a street called Calle Plátano.
So the Studio Banana on the Golden Street.
No, Plátano means means
banana.
Banana.
Yeah, it's banana on Banana Street.
I think plato means silver, so plátano means banana.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So they call their studio Banana because they were on Banana Street.
Okay.
And these guys are really these guys were like a co-working, and they turned into like a fully fledged studio. They just started combining talents, and they became this amazing studio.
Kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
See, it does work.
It really does. And they were architects and designers, and they were just really free flowing, like everything, and really creative. Have you ever heard of this thing called the Ostrich Pillow?
The Ostrich Pillow? No, I can't say that I have.
It is.
Did any ostriches die to make this pillow?
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately.
Jumping down any violence.
Not my favorite bird.
Have you actually encountered what is this it?
What?
Is this the ostrich pillow?
Oh, let me draw it. Okay, you're on the screen. Let me draw something that's.
So do people put their heads in there?
Yeah. So it's like, oh, you found it. Okay, you found it.
What?
You put your head in it, and you put your hands through the holes on the top, and then you put your head down.
What? This thing is bizarre.
Love it.
Dude.
Your venting hole.
Yeah, that's where your nose goes.
That's where your nose goes. This is the bizarrest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And this is with Studio Banana. So these guys are like the coolest, funniest, most greatest guys I've worked with. These are my clients, and they.
If you like this hat, you can buy luggage to go with it. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's like a traveling. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they've like so I've done a lot of like concept work with them. Like they just design lots of fun products.
Oh, interesting.
So those are actually my oldest clients, I would say.
Okay, so you've done product design, you've done illustration, editorial. What other avenues have you kind of?
I do scribing.
Scribing.
So
What's that?
So another word for it is graphic facilitation. It's suppose we were talking this whole time and you wanted to have a transcript of it, but not in words, but in pictures.
Okay.
Like an imagery situation.
So like a pictogram of our conversation.
Pictogram. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Would you draw the stuff we talk about, or would you draw us talking?
No, the topics.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the topics. So I've done it a lot. I've done it here as well. I've done it for like a conference on racism in Hamilton.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which is very interesting. And then I've done it for the United Nations in Spain.
Oh wow.
I've done it for Adidas recently. Like you just gotta take words and like literally what we do, but you have to think fast. You have to listen to the right words.
It's almost like Pictionary.
Sorry?
It's like Pictionary, but on the fly.
Oh yeah. It's like hardcore Pictionary. It's like S&M Pictionary.
S&M Pictionary.
Wasn't S&M just on here? SM?
Yeah, I just saw S&M.
Oh, what the?
S&M Carter.
He's like, I hate you guys.
We're just gonna draw him just whipping himself with like in the back with his, when he gets his books out with a little bit of a leather outfit and a ball gag.
But wait, who's S&M Carter?
Dice.
Say again, what?
Who's S&M Carter?
Oh, that's Sheldon Carter, who you've met.
Oh, but it's SM Carter. That's his name.
Yeah, that's his pen name.
Oh, his pen name in S&M Carter.
Just SM, no and.
He's just like, shut the fuck.
He's like, you're ruining my reputation. What's going on?
Yo, bring out S&M Carter.
Woo! Bring out the Gimp.
I heard he's got a new book.
This is great. He's just like, you guys are. There he is, you guys.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, he's there?
You guys.
Oh man, Sheldon, congratulations, dude. That's such an amazing campaign.
Oh, it was. It was.
Great. I'm so happy for him. All of you guys.
It went so well. We're excited. Just hopefully these precedents just keep coming as we do our next ones, and we can create something that's feasible, I guess, or is that the right word? Feasible, or consistent, whatever. Sounded really good.
Yeah, just keep talking. It sounds good.
I like it.
What are you drawing, Ramon?
I don't know. I want to draw something actiony. Originally, I was going to draw a guy leaning on a motorcycle, but I was just drawing a guy kind of running with a couple of guns shooting.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm trying to get back into doing much more bizarre angles. Like something I used to love doing quite a bit when I first, like in my earlier part of my career, and I don't get a.
That's such a great combination of shape, movement, and perspective.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into that. And unfortunately, sometimes you just fall by the wayside or whatever. Just doesn't. You don't get as much opportunity to play. So I'm just trying to get back in the habit of not falling on my regular poses, if you will.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like artists sometimes have default poses or default body figure positions that they work with, and I feel like it's bound to happen. You draw so much, you're gonna repeat yourself. But sometimes I find it out of like stagnation or maybe whatever. You just kind of fall in these ruts, and you kind of just you don't kind of get out of your comfort zone. So I'm trying to, at least on make shit where I can kind of play and do something different. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing different positions and just having fun with perspective and all that stuff as well. 'Cause I love shape. I love silhouette and the shape that comes. You know what I mean?
I started noticing that I was studying John Romita work on Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I just realized like how important like shape is so important to
for
everything,
sure.
like communication, composition. Just like even like I feel like sometimes even if you get shape right and everything else is wrong, it can still work.
I agree with that. No, like the shape is. I remember it's like, and you learn that a lot too in like animation as well. Like I remember J Bone, local Toronto artist, would always talk about how designing the silhouette. So like no matter how you see a character, when they're a complete just silhouette shape, you know who that character is by their stance or their. With Batman, you have the cape and the pointy ears and the things on his arms. Yeah. All that stuff. So
he's very talented. He's really talented. I like his stuff. It's really good.
Oh, J-Bone?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. We should reach out to him and get him on here. It's been a while since I've chatted with him. Him and Mike Cho is another guy who's just great with that kind of stuff.
Cho, we got to get on here.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get Andy.
Andy too, yeah. We got a few more weeks here to tuck in. Maybe we can sneak someone on here.
Yeah.
No.
So what's the next? So after this poster, what's your next big project, Danesh? Is it something like? Or are you just kind of focusing on? Oh, who'd you cross out? You crossed out the Care Bear. You don't like Care Bears?
Oh no, Care Bear it's slightly more ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's totally ahead of He-Man. Yeah. And Danger Mouse, and who's that gorilla? Is that Magilla Gorilla?
Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong. Rogue. I like how Rogue just X Rogue. Nope.
Yeah. No, X is for X-Men.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, speaking I see Gru there. Did you hear that it's being optioned for an animated, I think it's an animated movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is, I'm surprising it's never been optioned up until now. I don't know if Sergio is very maybe particular about maybe who gets it or what, but
wow, look at that,
that's a comic I loved to no end growing up. Just Sergio Aragonés is just so brilliant.
Yeah. I'm so glad I met him once. Like,
me too. Yeah, he's super, and he's so nice. He was so nice. And he's got a great mustache too.
Yeah, he's really funny in person too. Yeah, super funny in person as well.
Who would you say your artistic influences are? Because I feel like I could see some in your work, but at the same time, maybe there's other ones that
so
I'm completely unaware of.
Like, okay, so it's like I would say my top is the combination of Harvey Kurtzman and Will Elder in the first Matt magazines.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay. Did you read those a lot when you were...
No, I only discovered those recently.
Oh, okay.
But I used to read Mad when I was young. I remember there was one point, there was an exact incident where I can go back and say this is when I started wanting to do humor. It was I used to read a lot of Mad, but I was actually reading Cracked.
Okay, yeah.
Sitting down, did you ever do this when you were kids, when you were like, I don't know, 10, 11, sit down with your friends and read comics together?
Yeah, 100%.
So me and my friend, we were sitting down, we were reading a comic, it was Cracked. And we were reading, it was a parody of the movie Speed.
Okay.
Right? You know Speed, right? The one with Keanu Reeves and...
Yeah, for sure.
And we read the whole thing, it was funny and everything, and we came to the last panel, and he's like, okay, everyone's off the bus, and everyone is safe, and the bus goes like zooming off into the distance in the airport. Yeah. Right? But then, and it hits a plane. I said the joke before I didn't want it to. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, man, this is why they have professionals do that. And then it's like, okay, Keanu, you saved like 10 people on the bus. but you killed 200 on that plane. And we were just like, I just remember my friend, I was laughing, but I remember seeing my friend look at that thing and laugh, and he laughed literally for like 10, I think for 10 minutes we laughed.
Yeah.
And I realized, and I was like, wow, you can read something and that can do that to a person. Like I felt like, for me, that was like magic. Like for someone to read something on paper and laugh that much.
Yeah.
And since then, it's like, I've always like, I love going to Comic Cons and stuff like that because, you know, you never know how your jokes are gonna go or if people like them or not. But and the internet, it's really hard. Like likes and LOLs and emoticons aren't enough sometimes for you to really understand the effect your art is having on someone, right?
No, that's true. You know, that's very true.
So just watching people laugh or seeing their expressions when they look at your work, that, you know.
Yep.
So that's what I want to do, I think.
That makes perfect sense.
Just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love your sense of humor. Like some of your cards, like I don't know why, but it just gets me every time. Is like, I'm a unicorn. Your image is like, no, I'm a unique corn, and it's just so dumb, but I love it so much.
The dumber, the better.
You know.
I should actually share some jokes that I haven't.
I came across one today while I was prepping some of the images for like the PR, and it was like the one with the. I think it was like the punchline was like, and that's when the wolf realized he'd really let himself go, but it was like the wolf with the 3 pigs, and they're singing him happy birthday.
Yeah.
And it was just like, because it just, your first second you're like, what? Then you're like, oh, okay, you get it, right? You just like, it clicks in your head.
And that's how I was feeling. I woke up that morning feeling like that.
Okay.
I woke up that morning feeling like I've been tamed.
You've been tamed.
I've been domesticated.
You've been domesticated.
And I drew that, and I was like, it really, you know, I feel like the best ones are when the most honest ones, as to exactly how you're feeling. I have this other one, which is like there are 2 mimes playing Scrabble, and I think the caption was like 2 mimes sitting in silence searching for words. And I really like that one because it's based on like a real event.
Okay.
Like 2 really quiet people I knew used to get together every week and play Scrabble.
Okay.
This one, yeah. Mine.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I feel like,
and they're just stuck. There's nothing on the board. There's no tiles. They're just.
Have you ever submitted to like different publications, like the New Yorker or some of those places where, just like
no.
Oh no, that's surprising. I'm surprised you.
New Yorker once. I did, but I think New Yorker is a place you got to submit at least 50 times before.
Oh yeah, you're not going to get it on your first time. I think. I mean.
Yeah. No, I got to start on a mission. I think 2022 is going to be a mission of like, just. I think sometimes I get distracted by social media as well.
Yeah, yeah. I
don't know if it's the best. Like it's just that idea of instant gratification of like doing something and then putting it on and then looking at the likes and then either you're like, oh, I got so many likes, or oh it didn't do so well, or and then I feel like it's too much. It's too much to take. I was listening to Stephen King's On Writing the other day. The audio book. And he really talks about, obviously he's a novel writer, right? But he talks about like when he first works on something. Yeah. It's just him. He doesn't show it to anyone, and he just really gets into it, works on it for a long time, and then he only shows it to the right people. Like
interesting, yeah.
And then eventually it goes out to the public.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to the opposite, which is social media, is like you do something, you put it out. You do something, you put it out.
Yeah.
And I got kind of like, to be honest, I would get discouraged.
Yeah.
And it would affect my process.
Okay.
Like I felt like I feel like we need to do it, and we need to do social media, but it's not. I wasn't like.
It can be dangerously overpowering, basically. Like, it's good to connect, but
like you need to do what you need to do to create the best work, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing something that is preventing you from creating a best work or distracting you from creating the best work, then you need to look into that.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, the social media is it's addictive and it's distracting. It's exciting. It's like
it's like a double-edged sword. There's good things, obviously, but there's also a treacherously bad thing for it.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually even watching a thing by I'm blanking on his name right now. Who's the guy who created Inktober again?
Oh, Jake Parker.
Jake Parker. I was listening to one of his latest podcasts, or not podcasts, like a video cast he does, and he was saying how to, like, one thing he was talking about was like I think he was riffing off an article he had read about what he called rewilding your imagination, because of the algorithm now, like on social media, we're constantly fed what we like, so we're not we're not exposed to the abnormal. Like, you remember when you were like, as a kid or something, you had no internet, you had no TV, you just like watch whatever. So suddenly you're watching like a documentary on, like, you know, World War II, or maybe you're looking at the history of penicillin, or you're watching some TV show with your mother because that's what you have to do to watch TV. So you're exposed to the abnormal things, not necessarily the things you gravitate to.
Yes.
Right. So and that informs your creativity. But now, because the algorithm gives everybody what they want, you're getting a lot of the sameness in the creative world, where like all monsters are kind of like, oh, it's a tentacle thing with a big mouth in the middle, and this is what it looks like, and it's almost like diminishing people's creativity, which I found, like, I'm like, I get it, because like I could see that happening to me, like, you know.
But that happens also in like politics and social opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And like, a lot of things,
Any view you have will become extreme in that direction, because they will keep feeding you the things that are backing up what you think is the way.
Yeah, your idea process. You know, it's funny. Like, every so often on YouTube, I'll purposely go the opposite way of the algorithm, and I'll just search something out just to change my feed and see the other side of the political spectrum, or to see, you know, just different opinions on things. Because just because you're seeing one opinion doesn't mean it's the right opinion. You know what I mean? It's sometimes good to, you know, if you're left, maybe it's good to see what the right is saying, or vice versa, or if you sit in the middle. You know what I mean? Just to see all spectrums.
That's why also I still like going to the library and looking at books, because you always find something you didn't expect that you weren't looking for.
Actually, it's funny because he mentions that as well, like going and taking out books. Because I think you're right, the exact, and he mentions it for the exact same reason. You know.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a smart idea. Because you can, because there's so many things in books that are not on the internet as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know my girlfriend always like gives me a hard time because I keep buying books, but there's so many things that I can never find online that I find in books, whether it's an art book or just an interesting historical thing or mythology, like whatever it might be, right? Excuse me.
Yeah.
I used to go a lot to the library when I was a kid. Loved it.
And then you forgot how to read.
Some of that stuff's gone now, man. Like, it's kind of like...
No, the libraries are still there, Eric. You can still go to them.
No, I know, but like, it's not... No one... You know what I mean? Like, kids aren't going to go. Well, fuck. It's like... An iPad, it's like...
I think kids still do go. I think it's just... It's not everybody who goes. Like, there's a certain sect of people, I think, who definitely still, you know...
I actually do my best work in the library.
I remember you were saying you would actually go there sometimes just to do work.
At least twice a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it the quiet that?
It's everything. It's also the weird idea of being trapped
Okay.
and not being able to move from your seat.
Yep.
Like, because you can't leave your seat too long because the library always has sketchy people in it.
Yeah.
And so you can't leave. You can't even leave and go eat sometimes because someone will take your seat.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck there. You can, the maximum you can go is you can't sleep. You can't eat.
Sounds like you're in prison.
Yeah, great.
Great.
Yeah, coming back to S&M. No, no, wait. So it's like the ultimate. Like I truly believe, like you need, in some sort of sense, some sort of limitation for creativity, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I can't do anything. So I have to sit there and I have to work.
Mm-hmm.
And the maximum I can do is get up a little bit with my books and bag still in sight, and look at other books on the shelf.
That's
and
true.
that's when I pick up stuff that I never expected. And that fills that gap sometimes when you're tired and you don't feel like working and you want to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you read something you never knew, and that kind of lights you up again, and you can get back to work again.
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anything that you found in that manner inspire something that's kind of stuck in your head, or an idea that you've wanted to play with?
Yeah, like I think I read like at one time I'm always reading like 3 different type of books. I'm reading fiction, history, and like something motivational, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like I find like those, like I always get ideas from. I always remember in Sheridan there was one art teacher who'd be like how do I become better at life drawing and this and that, and I always remember what he said. He says read more books.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I found that very interesting because you never expect that answer from an art teacher, life drawing teacher.
What's
and
the reasoning? I want to know more.
Yeah, what do you think the reasoning was behind that?
I think it's because, for me personally, so I think it's a muscle, right? Like turning words into pictures is a muscle in your head that needs to keep being used. And if you're constantly looking at pictures, you're getting entertained, but you're not using that muscle, right?
Okay,
you're getting inspiration.
Yeah.
But like that, like I think just the smooth process of going from words to images, and those images that you create yourself in your head are more, are more special to you because only you know them.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about reading, because I really like now, especially as an artist, now I find I read a lot more because I like to create my own images. I don't like the images created for me as much.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because it's rare. People. It's funny. I work in comics, and many of us do. And the one question I get asked a lot whenever I do an interview or something is like, what comics are you reading now? And sadly, it's like 9 times out of 10, I'm not reading anything current. I'll often, a lot of the stuff I often pick up is a lot older. Or maybe like once in a while I'll pick up a trade collection of something a little bit more current. But
yeah,
I find I always, whenever I do read stuff, I always tend to read more prose, like fiction, or even I for a while there I got really into biographies of people, which I found quite fascinating and interesting to kind of to read. And it's funny because it's the answer they don't often like to hear, but you're like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, not reading anything current. I could care less what's happening to Batman right now. I'm sorry. It's just, but if you want to read the Steve Jobs biography, or, the Cary Grant or whatever it is, it's just like, it's just interesting. I find it fascinating and just much more satisfying, I guess, to...
Yeah, I love reading. Sometimes I actually like reading more than drawing.
I think it spurs our imagination, so I get that. You get like a satisfying a picture in your head,
Yeah, and just ideas mixing, and like
Yep.
Fun. Sure, for sure. And as Sarah says here, yeah, if you can't, movies just don't measure up. Like, so I'm struggling with the Wheel of Time and the Foundation show. It's like those books were so precious to me. And
have you watched either?
I have not watched Foundation. I watched the first episode of Wheel of Time, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's like it's not there yet. Maybe it's gonna get better. I don't know. I'm very. That's why I'm always weary of like when they take old classic books and then try to like make movies out of them. I'm like, ooh.
I think it's especially with more current stuff. Like obviously, if you take, because the thing is, you're always going to be seeing someone's interpretation of that book. It'll never be the author's version. It'll just be whatever that director or producer is getting out of that creation, right?
Yeah. And I can respect that. Like, I can
for
slide,
sure.
Right?
Yeah,
I can let a lot of shit slide and stuff.
You know,
and fuck, man, it's hard to do that shit. They did it, so kudos to them for putting it together and actually moving forward and doing that project. It's a big undertaking. So I give them obviously a lot of passes, but there's just like, how do I? Do I still like it? Am I happy with it? Because ultimately, I still got to decide if I like it or not. Right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you always have the original text to to fall back on.
Totally.
But
and with Dune, I think Sheldon was talking about that. Like the original Dune, bananas. I mean, I love it. It's crazy, but apparently the book is what inspired him to kind of rewrite and rework on this to Steal the Sun stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the latest Dune, and I really liked it. I really like the old one too, but they're definitely two different types of movies.
Yeah, I've never read the original,
but I never read the book.
Yeah. The same with the Foundation series. I'm enjoying it, but I've never read the original text, right? And so I'm curious to, and it's always different when you read the book after a series. It's not quite the same because the movie influences your interpretation.
Well, I refuse to do it. I refuse to watch movies that I've read the books of.
You refuse to watch? Oh yeah.
Because it like I have when I read something, I have the picture and I'm happy with it. I don't want anything corrupting that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like. I really enjoyed Ready Player One.
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch the movie.
You're not missing much.
I don't watch the movie.
Exactly.
I really liked it too. I was like, yes, I watched the movie. I'm like, oh man, what a mess.
Oh, you can't go back from that, Eric.
You can't go back. It's true, you can't. It's very hard. Like I've never read the original Tolkien either, and I'll be hard pressed to actually, if should I ever read it. I mean, I think actually, you know what? It's been probably long enough now since I've seen the movies that they probably wouldn't influence my visuals as much as it would be if I read it closer to when I saw the.
I read them, and I think I read them close to when they were coming out because I'm like, I'm going to read these books now so that I get them and then see the movie. And I was quite pleased with it. I really like Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah. But I think certain books will. Like I remember, I mean, this is like not the greatest example, but I remember reading the original John Carter novels after I saw the film, and I would say they didn't influence each other because in my head, the way the author described the main character was so different than the person they cast. And I actually liked the John Carter movie, but it was so different that it didn't really hold an influence on my interpretation of the reading. So I think I guess it's a test, each time you do it. But I don't know.
Are you watching anything nowadays, Danesh?
Sorry?
Are you watching anything nowadays or caught anything?
What did I watch recently? I really enjoyed The Boys.
Oh, I love The Boys. It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was fun. I watched Breaking Bad again.
Again? Fuck, I haven't even seen it once yet. Fuck.
And I'm watching it a third time and taking notes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love it so much.
You are a different kind of person. I
That's
like
crazy. I mean, I still there's so many things I want to rewatch again. I just never seem to actually make. I don't know. It's
dig
not.
it.
I'd love to though. That's such a great idea.
I admire that, buddy. Well done.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I really like Mad Men, I guess.
Oh, I
That's
love
another
Mad
one.
Men. That's a favorite.
Mad Men was really
Has anybody here? Have you guys checked out the new Cowboy Bebop at all?
No, I saw that. I keep seeing that on their previews.
I'm leery to check that out. I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I'll go past episode 1. It hurt. It's funny because I see some people going on about how awesome it is. I'm like, really? Did we watch the same thing? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know. I love that anime. So
same.
That had so much influence on me.
And I think even the casting, I'm not like the actor who's playing him. I think is great, but I don't think he really suits the role either. Like,
It's just tough because how do you cast some of these characters, man? Like, it's almost impossible. Like,
yeah, I mean, but you could cast a more traditional no-name, maybe Japanese or Asian actor for the role. Like, I've seen enough Japanese and Asian cinemas where I see actors who maybe embody that character more so than he did. Plus, I also think he's a little bit too old for the role. He looks. I picture Spike as a much younger character.
yeah,
But anyways, just curious.
I'll check it out, but I don't really want to.
Then don't do it. Don't do it. Don't feed the algorithm.
Don't feed the algorithm.
I also feel like anime is such a unique, like, style. It has a particular way it tells, the visual choreography of anime is just so unique to the medium. I don't think it's hard to translate it to live action.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah, I'm very hesitant. Like a Ghost in a Shell, one of my favorite franchises. I was like, oh man, like I like ScarJo, but I don't know, man. That just didn't work out for me.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it.
I'm very. That means that movie changed my fucking life. The Ghost in the Shell anime. That's one of my all-time favorite films.
Yeah.
You know, right up there with like.
Had you read the book before you watched that anime?
No. I have all of it though. I collect all kinds of variations of the comic, the censored, the non-censored.
But you've read it. I mean, censored. I think it's only 2 scenes on the boat or something, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've read it since though.
Oh, I think so.
You think you're not sure?
Well, it's been a long time, man. If I did,
You're like
it was a long time ago.
You're like, I own it, but I'm not sure if I read it. I'm
Oh,
not
dude,
sure.
I was big into that like when it hit, which was like college, like 20 plus years ago. So I definitely read it, but I can't remember it.
Oh, okay.
So not much stays up in this head of mine.
Yeah, I'm like a goldfish myself.
It's like Arden. It just keeps on going.
Keeps on going. It's funny because like some people, it's interesting because I know some people will like read a book and they'll tell you everything about it, and then like if you ask me like, tell me about that book you just read, like literally you just put it down. I'm like, loved it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you much about it.
Same here, man. I can't. I have such terrible recall. Like I'm just like, all I can remember is the feeling.
Yeah. It's like I was there for the ride. I loved it. Yeah, it's hilarious how different brains kind of.
I can't remember the words or what it actually meant or what was said. But the vibe of it really stuck with me.
Yeah, it's funny.
Sometimes I'm reading, and do you ever do that when you're reading and you're spacing out at the same time, so you're not following anything?
Yeah.
But you're still reading.
Yeah.
Then you've read like a page or two, and you're like, oh, wait, stop! You can't keep doing that.
Yeah. You have to go back. Or you read the same sentence a few times because you've zoned out that much.
Yeah.
You're like, this sounds repetitive now. What's going on?
The ball bounced into the ball bounced and
yeah. You're like, why is this sentence so hard? I don't understand.
And then I give one more read and I just fall asleep.
Right, exactly right.
I liked Arcane there, Wellington. I think that's kick-ass so far.
Arcane.
Only seen one episode. It looks fantastic on Netflix.
I think the first episode, like visually, stunning. first character-wise, I was bored to death. Like, I found the character, but I've heard it gets more interesting. I don't play League of Legends, but I've come to understand that these are pre-existing characters from the mythology. Or am I wrong in that?
You're right. I don't play it either, but I think you're right.
But so, from what I've been told, it becomes a little bit more engaging. So I'm more interested in continuing that one than I am the Cowboy Bebop remake or reinterpretation, whatever you want to call it. But Arcane looks beautiful. So I'm hoping the characters, maybe they were just trying to set up a lot of stuff in the first episode that kind of lost me a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, what did you like about it so much that grabbed you so much outside of the art? I mean, like, was it the story?
For me, it was just like obviously all the visual stuff, story stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, there's nothing new here, but I'm just curious to see where they go with it. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't play it, so I don't really know. But
yeah, I am going to check out more of it because, like, it looks amazing, and there's enough there to hook me to want to learn more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Kind of Wheel of Time. I'm like, oh man, I love that series. So I'm like, I'm gonna hang on and kind of give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too stoked some of it, but it's also not enough to make an opinion. So like, I don't want to like talk myself into not liking it, you know, or talk myself into liking it. So
it's funny how people can talk themselves into liking something or not liking it for that matter.
Oh yeah.
I find that utterly fascinating. It's like when people go like, I hate that album, but I listened to it like 26 times and now I kind of like it. You're like, what?
Just listen till you like it.
Yeah, listen till you like it till it makes sense.
All right. Played around with a bunch of heads on this girl, but I think this is the one. Oh, Sheldon liked it, so.
I like how I looked up and all I saw was Danger Mouse. And I was like, yeah, that looks good. I want to ask what, with this head on Kali, what is her mask made out of? I was trying to figure that out from on the book cover. It looks like bark.
Well, I think so. First of all, Sheldon has told me there's multiple masks that she wears.
Oh, okay.
This was just, I think, the artist. I'm always terrible with names.
Douglas Lobo.
Yes, I think he just came up with one, and
okay,
that was that. I mean, it also could be based on something in the book. That or Sheldon told him, but like you'd have to ask Sheldon.
Oh, okay.
But he also told me that there's multiple masks, so have some fun with it. So.
Okay, that's good.
So
that's interesting.
I'm just trying. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
There's some ideas.
Nice.
But yeah. So how many characters did you get done so far, Danesh?
Oh yeah, I didn't think I'd have so much trouble talking and drawing. Like, like, so what I started doing was just scrolling through all the characters when the screen went on, and then I would pretend like, oh, it looks like I need some shading here, some over here.
Is there a particular character on this thing that is very important to you, like something that they have a connection with, or you know what I mean? Because there's so many characters here, but obviously some of them would have a larger influence on you than others. You know what I mean?
Influence.
I don't say like change your life. I mean like maybe you read them as a child more, or maybe there's one specific to your time in like India or Dubai.
Tarzan. I love Tarzan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a story. I just like how well it's written.
Yeah.
And I can go past all the racism and still love the book.
Yeah.
I really, Tarzan. I really love John Carter. Like, these are all books I read recently.
Oh, John Carter's great, yeah.
John Carter is great. I love Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Dracula. You know what? That's a good question because it's actually this period of time, like the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That are some of my favorite books. Like, I recently went through all of these, like, 1800s, like, horror, like Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, Tarzan. John Carter's science fiction, but Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, The Time Machine. I'm just going through all like those books during that period of time. I think I would say those ones. I love, like, I grew up like everyone else on like Spider-Man and Hulk and those characters as well. But like, you know, like we were talking, it was a different period. Like when I was growing up reading comics, I preferred reading comics to books, and I enjoyed Spider-Man and Hulk. But now I can't read that stuff anymore. I can't read comics as much.
Yeah.
Now I'm going back to like these old school, like just books.
Yeah, it's funny because like I love the old pulp books that, like the Tarzan, the old. There's something just raw and interesting about them. Like I have a huge collection of ones from like crime ones too, like crime pulp novels as well from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
And I recently picked up a lot of because I was missing a few of the John Carter books as well. And he also had another character that went to like Venus or Saturn or something. I can't remember the name of that character.
Oh, Sheldon's got a question for you there, Danesh.
Oh, yeah.
I
just finished Minds. Yeah, with Alan Quaterman. That was fun too. That was a really good book. I realized one thing that I really enjoy about these, because I've been reading so many fiction like Lost World, King Solomon's Mines, and this Dracula, like all kind of adventure. Dracula is an adventure book, right? They're trying to like, kill this guy, but like I love what I love, and even in series, is that the ability for a writer to do this is to create suspense. They have a situation, right? It's very difficult. Like the character is in a really difficult situation, and it's a protagonist, and the protagonist can die. But as a reader, you were thinking, you're like, there's no way they're going to kill the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
There's no way. Like that happens, but you're still kind of questioning it. You know that the protagonist is not going to die.
Yeah.
But you're curious, like in your mind, a good writer destroys all the options of surviving in your mind. So you're reading it and you're thinking, this character, there's no way, like the doors are all locked, it's dark, they're 100 meters underground, it's impossible. And you're like,
gonna get out of it?
You're only on page 10.
Yeah, right.
You know, there's no way this character is going to die.
Yeah.
But you're reading it not because you are questioning whether he's going to live or die. You're really curious as to how he's going to escape.
The
thing. And
that's true. Like a good.
Sorry, go ahead, Ramon.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's like, cause I was talking with somebody about the new Obi-Wan TV series coming out. On Disney Plus, and they were like, I don't really care about this because I know he's gonna live because he's in the movies. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really matter though. It's because you always know James Bond is gonna live, because he's James Bond. But it's that journey that he might just, you know what I mean, or you know, or like you said, how does he get out of this situation? You know what I mean? Indiana Jones is another good example. He was like he was a fallible character, like human and. You know, but that's the tale of a good the markings of a good writer or story for that matter. Where you, despite knowing that the character is going to live, you're still invested in the character.
Yeah, it's not a question of whether they'll survive. It's like, how the hell are they going to survive? How is this possible? Like that's your curiosity. You're like, this is not. So I enjoy that. I love suspense and adventure.
Same.
And I really think like reading is like traveling.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the closest you can get to travel without moving.
That's true. Yeah, it introduces you to different lands and stuff for sure. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, think of how many places like you've probably read about that you'll never be.
I know, because they don't exist.
What? Barsoom doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
What? I can't go to Mars?
Oh, damn it.
Well,
not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, another great book of Mars is Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I've
It's
never
like
read
just short stories.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one with that. Well, I guess I'm gonna spoil it, but I guess there's not many chance of many people reading right now.
Spoilers ahead for Ray Bradbury's. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, all those Ray Bradbury plans. Which are mute.
You may want to mute your device now.
There's this part in the book where like all the settlements on Mars see that there's like a nuclear war happening on Earth or something, and everyone goes back, which is weird. I don't remember why they go back to help, or they're needed back home. And there's only one guy left on the whole of Mars, and he discovers there's like another girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole story is like they find a way to communicate through these weird signals and electrical devices, and it's like building up and building up and building up, and you're getting excited like it's a guy and it's a girl, and it's the last guy on Mars and the last girl on Mars. And then they meet up. Yeah. And then they meet up, and he hates her.
So basically, the future is just like Tinder.
He's like super annoyed, and like he kind of like, oh, I just need to go to my car and get something,
and never comes back.
Never comes back.
Good to see that still works on Mars.
Yeah. And even if but I just love. I'm sorry, I've spoiled that story for you.
It's okay. I'll forget by the time I read it.
Hopefully, yeah. Read it another 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. What's that book Danesh loaned me way back when? There you go.
Yeah, but Ray Bradbury is another great.
I like Isaac Asimov. That's the foundation stuff.
Oh,
what about you, Eric? Are you reading any books these days?
I'm still trying to wrap up Dracula, but I've been reading a lot of Warhammer stuff. A lot of gaming. I love Warhammer and stuff like that. And then also Sheldon and I are just like getting going on Arden again. We had to take a break there with the strip.
Yeah.
We had a good meeting there the other night.
Nice.
Just planning our 2022. So all my time's kind of just reading our stuff and getting it going again. So
yeah.
Yeah, we got lots to do. We got some big plans next
No
year.
sleep for the wicked.
And so yeah. No, we're pretty excited.
Oh, it's great to hear, dude. How about you, Danesh? Any grand plans for the coming year as it's around the corner? For artistically, I mean, obviously, so many other things going on, but just.
I have to do something consistently, like either like the single panels, like you said. I liked your idea that just do it, and then if a character happens, it happens.
Yeah.
You know what? I tried like. I have my Instagram account, and I tried doing like another account just for the cartoon.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so the weird head mind. No, what's it called?
Hideous head mind.
Hideous head mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I was like, oh no, I'm back to like very few followers again, and I have to start from scratch. And I got a bit dissuaded by that, I guess, to be honest. And then I regretted it. Yeah.
I wouldn't let dissuade you, because I have a friend of mine out in Budapest. She's a great artist, and during the pandemic she was doing these kind of social commentary comics, kind of really relating to I guess women, and I don't want to call them feminists, but they're just a women's point of view on women in society and all this stuff. And it's funny because she had like a decent amount of followers, like 20,000 maybe. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember an article mentioned her, and like literally overnight she got something like 200,000 followers, just like that, because someone was reading it. It struck a chord, and she had multiple accounts because she was also a fashion blogger. So she created an account just for her art, and it was like a slow climb, right? So she visited here and there, but during the pandemic, because she wasn't doing events and different things. She kind of focused on the art aspect, and that just blew up like a crazy amount. So don't let the numbers ruin it for you. You know what I mean? Is what I'm getting at, I guess.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You build it, and they will come, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I might I like the name, and I like the idea. So maybe that's the thing I'll keep doing.
Yeah.
And consistently, like.
Yeah, I think
really, it's
so.
about consistency, right?
It is. I think and also like when you have enough out there, people just start sharing it, and making it available, and also like maybe have it like make a. Because sometimes Instagram is also not the best thing, I think, for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could always make a Facebook page and have it auto post to the Facebook page. Because I find unless people deep dive on your account, sometimes things get like Twitter's the worst. Instagram is better, but if you want like a place where people can always go to it and share it easily, it's like as much as I hate it, Facebook is a good avenue for that. You know what I mean? And so it could be just something like just get it out there, have people, sharing it on other platforms where people see it, and the more places you have it out there, the more people will discover it, and next thing you know, you go from 20 followers to 2,000 to 20,000 to 200,000.
From chump to champ.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I just you remember we were talking about Later the other day, later.com
Yep.
or whatever?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I use for a lot of my social.
So that's all you need. I tell myself I won't check, and and then when it's convenient, I keep checking because my phone is
for
there.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And I don't like that.
I keep my phone on silent all day, and I don't check. The only time I check social media is usually in the morning when I get up, when I'm just kind of having my morning coffee, and I don't look at it again till probably 10 p.m. in the evening, unless someone has emailed me directly or texted me, But I go out of my way not to look at it.
Don't you ever feel the urge to do it? How do you fight that?
I think for me, it's actually become. I know this is going to sound horrible, but I've kind of become bored of it. I don't engage on many platforms. I think the one I engage the most on is Instagram, because I find I follow a lot of artists. I like what I'm seeing. It's inspiring to see what other people are working on. But for the most part, I don't engage on Twitter because I'm never there. And I don't really there's a lot of these lengthy discussions on Twitter, which I just have no time to get into. And yeah, I think it comes it's just a habit. It's like breaking any habit, and and even Facebook, I just find I'm just not interested in a lot of the content I see. Not enough to make me want to dive in and spend 3 hours on it. You know what I mean? So oftentimes I find I'm often just searching on different platforms for maybe inspiration or whatever it might be, but. Yeah, it's funny because over the past year, I was so preoccupied with other stuff that my social habits fell by the wayside. It's I used to post a lot, and then I think during the pandemic, I ended up posting once over 6 months. I just didn't care because I was doing all this other stuff, and then I think that just broke me of the habit. So now I just post very infrequently. If I feel like it's something important, whether it's Sheldon's campaign or a friend's art or whatever. Arden's, I'm still working out my way up to that one, but but yeah, I think it's just it just comes down to habit, because it's really. I think about a lot of the great artists that I love and adore, and none of them were on social media when they built their careers. When I discovered their work, not because of social media, but because of the content they put out, the books and the things that excited me. You know what I mean? And that's the stuff I want to create. And I felt by getting too wrapped up in social media, you're just caught up in the moment. You're not creating that everlasting thing that's going to live on a shelf in someone's house, right?
You
Like,
just get addicted to the high of like posting
Yeah.
and getting like
Yeah.
posting and getting likes.
yeah, like, you know, do you want to live in someone's folder on their desktop? It's someone like, oh, my favorite Danish drawings. Or would you rather have like a book of your comic strips on their shelf where they'll like, you know, their children might discover it, or you know, they'll pass it along to a friend or whatever it might be, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a very old school way of thinking, but it's
Yeah.
kind of the where I sit these days on my social
Yeah,
habits.
Shell and I were like, we were kind of talking about last time we hung out there. We were like,
Mhm.
we were both like, you know, enough of this social media stuff. We were going to quit it all. And it's like, with this campaign, he's like, you need to be on social.
No, there are definite benefits to being on it, but I don't think it has to be your all encompassing thing. You know what I mean? Like, or like what I've heard when I talk to like some people who like in the industry, they're like, choose your poison and stick to that one, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't spread yourself thin over all the platforms. Like, people are like, get a TikTok account, get this. I'm like, choose your favorite and do something with that. So if it's
That's kind of what we
Instagram,
did with Arden. We're like, let's just stick with Instagram and
Yeah.
we'll go from there. As long as
Yeah.
you're creating content, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You can always pick it up and move it somewhere else. Like, the main thing is the content, not the app, not the.
yeah,
It's what inspires you to keep creating, right?
exactly, right. And you know, it could even be a website. Like look at Dax. Like, Dax is, you know, his comic has been going. He's been doing his on Facebook and Tumblr for, you know, like, and he hasn't changed his habits just because of the book. He's consistent. He puts it out there, and 5 years later, he's got a ton of followers who are interested in hearing about it, right? So I think there's definitely it definitely has a place, and it's not going away.
No.
But I think don't let it control your habits in your life. Basically, I don't know. That's the way I kind of try to approach it. You know, post when it's important, and share when it's important, but don't let it dictate your. You know, but if you're choosing to do a comic on Instagram, then obviously update, like, you know, every fucking week or whatever, or every day for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because that's your delivery platform of choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just bumbling blindly through all this
Yeah,
bullshit.
you're just kind of talking.
Wow, I'm just, you know,
I'm just bugging, buddy. What time we got here? Oh man, it's already almost time. Jeez.
almost time, and Danesh hasn't drawn a thing.
Hey, I did. I've done a few things.
Did a bit of things.
A bit of
Few
things.
things. I've gone to Mario.
Mario.
It's a me. Yeah, this is.
It's amazing how many. Just looking at your poster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and also like your poster. There's so many, like, just to see the variety of fictional characters. But there's also like probably a billion more that are not on your poster as well, which is
Oh yeah.
crazy. Like you know, like obviously like you have a Batman, but then there's like 10,000 more characters that are at DC or Marvel. Obviously not as important, but
Yeah.
it's still crazy the variety of.
What's amazing is that most people who look at the poster can name most of them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great actually.
Yeah.
What's cool is that, like, you instinctually, subconsciously know all these characters. It's funny enough. Like, you're like, oh my god, I forgot about that one. Oh, that one too. And
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude. That's,
Look at this group here. Like,
Which group
this is
here?
what happened after World War II. Like,
Charlie Brown.
Dennis the
Who's that?
Menace, the British Dennis the Menace. Oh, there's Condorito.
Which
The
was
bird.
Condorito?
This one.
Oh, the bird there. Oh, he's tucked in there. Who's that fuzzy guy? I've seen him before beside the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Pogo.
Oh, that's right, Pogo. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the best comic strips. It's like a
Yeah.
political comic strip. Yeah.
I never read it. I actually got into Dennis the Menace a while ago. The early stuff is just great.
Yeah. It was
The
with
older,
single panel, right?
yeah, the later stuff I wasn't as much because I think as like the strips got older, they got like writers and maybe the guy never really drew it. I don't know, but yeah, just the early
look,
stuff.
This Astro Boy came out at the same time as DNA Discovery.
That's awesome. That's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, but like I always
Richie-
tell people this as the main thing where the poster works is like So the Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
It's a story about a family that goes to space.
Yeah.
First man in space. They get exposed to radiation,
Uh-huh.
but there's a fear of radiation, and they're like
Cuban Missile.
fighters, like during the Cuban
Yeah.
Missile Crisis. Like
Yeah.
so they are the ultimate representation of the time.
Yeah. Is that the Barba Papas down there, or is that Shmoo? That's a Barba Papa. Clickety click. Baba trick.
Yeah.
I love those guys too.
But look at this. Look how dark the
Oh,
70s were.
I love that detail of the Daredevil holding the arm of Pink Panther to walk along.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That's fantastic. Sir,
Danish, where can people look to find your stuff before we get out of here?
My stuff is on daneshm.com.
it's also linked in the bottom of our episode as well.
Okay.
Or www.
.d.
And you can tell Danesh doesn't do his own lettering.
No.
What? Danes? S and M Carter.
Where is S&M Carter?
Amazing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this thing final.
Just click. Whoever's watching, click directly on what I've written. It should work.
It's right there. It's a hot link right off the screen.
Yeah. I have a magic pen that does these things. Just try it. Trust me. You'll never know if you don't try. It's gonna go now. God.
It's gonna go. Boom.
Oh, I can't even let it. What happened? Can't delete it.
Oh, you broke it.
Well, usually when we leave the drawing space, that's Rob saying, "Hey,
It's like, get the hell out of here. Get the
Wrap it
hell
up
out
here.
of here.
That was a quick 2 hours. Wow.
Yeah, that was great, man. I had a lovely time
I
chatting
did a
with
lot
you.
of listening there, Danesh. Thank you for talking so much. I was just listening to you guys go on about stuff. Really good. And you got a fascinating history, my friend.
Thank you
And,
so much. Thanks for
I love what you're doing. That giant page is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see you.
We gotta get one framed and put it in the gallery once it's done and just have its own exhibit.
Yeah, I'm writing a whole piece on it as well.
Oh yeah?
I'm writing a piece on it talking about why fictional characters created were based on the time. Why, like, relating it to politics and science and all
Oh,
those
that's
things.
interesting. I mean, it's very
But
true. Like, the characters are a reflection of the era they're created in. That's a for sure thing.
Yeah. It's very interesting. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Oh,
Well, are we gonna tap out there? It's
I guess,
9:58. We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
You know.
It was great having everybody show up again, like always.
Yeah.
Have
Tired
some-
Eric there.
What's that?
You look tired there, buddy.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
all out of focus there for a second.
Trying to. Yeah, I was up early. The cat wakes me up every morning super early, so I'm
Son
trying to.
of a bitch.
But I go out there and walk and get my life going. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
lots to do. I like we got so much to do next year, so. It's
Oh
gonna be-
yeah.
It's gonna be good
Yeah.
times, but
Time to knuckle down.
I'm excited to see what everyone does.
yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, damn straight.
Dream, right?
Probably the 24th. The 24th,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
I think the last episode will be a nice, like, our Christmas party bash, probably.
yeah, and we'll try and get on as many guests as we've had.
Yeah.
for years.
Probably won't be any drawing. It'll just be socializing.
Drinking.
Thank God.
And drinking.
I hate drawing.
We've discovered that Danesh can't do both at the same time.
Can't do
I
both.
I can't even walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, Danesh, thanks so much for joining us, my friend.
Yeah, it was
Thanks for
awesome.
having me,
For
guys.
coming
It's
out.
a pleasure
Cheers to
and
you, my
honor.
friend.
Oh,
Go Leafs.
salute.
Oh, I have an empty cup, so I can't really cheers anything, but
Go Leafs.
boom. Yeah. Everybody keep making shit, and we'll see you next week, I suppose,
Thanks,
right?
everyone.
Cheers.
Peace out.
Thanks to Rob.
Peace.
Go Leafs.
Nice. That's fantastic.